Welcome to the Real Double Dose Channel broadcast station, focused on the real reels of real life, love, growth, and of course, elevation within all levels. RDDC is exactly the place where anyone can discover more depth, love, light, and clarity within themselves, and elevate from other people's walks of life, conversations, and questions, along with deeper insights. So tune in and be a part of the Double Doses with Lexus T and RDDC.
Hello. Welcome back, my RDDC familians. As the intro said, and you know, this is the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host, Lex, coming to you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is always live, like I always say, with that extra punch in there. For any show requests, feedback, or anything under the sun, reach out to us at Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com. That's YANDX.com. And as well as check out the wonderful things and signups and cool articles and just the blog posts and some goodies on there at realdoubledosechannel.com. That's realdoubledosechannel.com. And our wonderful, well, we'll say our branch off to what we are about, and that is spiritandmindelevation.com. That's spirit and A-N-D, mind of the mind, elevation.com. Don't forget to check that out and the goodies that are there. Check out the manifesto. You can get it for as low as just a cup of tea at a restaurant, or maybe your little cup of coffee that you get in the morning, or even the price of a croissant. Let's put it that way. And we have extra freebies and goodies and signups and masterclasses on there too. So let's be clear here. This has been years in the making, and I'm happy to boast it and say it with pride from all the love we've been getting back and all the things out there. And you know, you're welcome to be a part of it, or just get the goodies and do what you need to, or just elevate even more on your journey. But anyone who's tuning in for new, anyone who's going out there at all, you can check us out on TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker, Deezer, Google Cast. We got SoundCloud, iHeart, iTunes, Giovanni, different ones, so many more. I can't even say them all. So I'm sorry if I'm missing a lot more than I usually hear, but all the links should be here and out there no matter where we are. But I wanted to get ahead and just make sure I keep in contact with the motion of what's going on with us, and that's our RDDC families. I know a lot of everyone's been trying to figure out what's going on with different things going in Lex's world or RDC's family and world. And we're always trying to be as transparent as we can, as open as we're possibly able to. But at the same time, life happens, right? Like they say, S happens, right? Shite happens. Let's just put it that way for all you sensitive ears. Things happen that are out of our control. You know, some things are up, some things are down. It's like a roller coaster. And I don't hold any shade on trying to be real on the things that are happening. Let's be clear here. Facts. Let's be clear. And some people say, well, it's just, Lex, nothing can happen with you. I beg to differ. As a matter of fact, so many things happen in my life. I don't even know the goddess at that point. I want to know her. So when I get a chance to tune in, that's more of an interconnected part of me. That's like a plug-in that's given from the creator of all things. And I have no control over it, but I have control over clearing out my own apparatus and stratosphere to kind of get those things a little bit more aired out so I can be more in tune to the frequencies. But it doesn't mean the innate gifts that's given to me I don't feel. But I get pulled into that humanity a little bit more than I should, and I need to get it out there. Whether it be weight gain, whether it be mental fog, whether it be snapping out at someone, I don't hold that back. I let people know the same person you get on here, RDDC, is the same person you're going to get when you meet me. Might be a little bit more chill depending what mood I'm in. Come on now. I'm a woman of many coats and hats. Be clear. But you're always going to get me. This is what it's going to be. Sometimes a little bit more polished, sometimes a little bit more rough, but it's there. You don't have to worry about it flip-flopping, and my love is always going to be real. Like, no matter how upset I get, that's just what it is. So I want to dedicate this to saying #self-blinded. Yes, that's what it is. And this is going to hit different key points, but we're going to keep it sweet, to the point, and delivering it as much as we can. Give you the double doses, because this is what it is. #self-blinded. And I mean that in so many ways. Now, many of you who are listening in don't know. Some of you do, from different updates that you had corresponding with Angela and them. But on March 1st of this beautiful year, right after my mother had her beautiful 75th birthday, she decided to go on a snowy Minnesota morning down the slope of the driveway, taking out her little recycling and trash little bags, the little ones that are left. Plenty of room in the bins. because she just has to be her Aquarius tedious self. It was kind of dark outside, about 5-ish a.m. And she didn't make it up the slope. Yes, I know. She fell. Not only did she twist and fall, but she hit the right lobe of her head so hard and shook her brain that brain bleeding occurred, severe concussion. You know the drill. It was insane. So I decided to just look out the window of the family home that morning with instinct of that innate presence and always listening to the calling of the spirit. And I see a little leg moving in the snow on the, bottom part of the drift. And it's my beautiful, precious mother. So you imagine I ran out there in my pajamas, my socks, like, what's going on? Had to drag her up. Had to decide when the paramedics asked me, what are you going to choose? You're going to choose to drag her up? Or are you going to, how did you make the decision basically, from her having concussion, don't move a person. And I thought, well, it's snowing. It's cold. She's 75. She just had an injury to her head. It's going to be hypothermia, waiting for them to show up. And her body was already dropping temperature from that point. So long story, almost short. It has been complete rehabilitation, prayers, first of all, rehabilitation, faith, meditation, incubation, so many things happening from that. So for like the last 6.5, 7 weeks, about almost 7 weeks, I have been a dedicated full-time nurse. Which I am humbly welcome to do. It's just scary when you have someone that close, the woman who gave you birth, going through that, But I mean, she's getting better. For all you are wondering, she's about 70% through. I'll probably say 65 for the most part some days. And some days when she's very strong, I say she's about 75%. But, it took a long journey. And it's been a long journey. And I wouldn't have it any other way but to be here by her side. So, yeah, we've had our ups and downs. I've had my issues with some of our family members. This is life. Sober or not, it's life. When people say, well, how's life? No, I don't want to come off as one of those people who are just understanding of trying to be, I'm perfect. No, I'm not. That's one thing I am happy to say. I am perfectly imperfect. Not by choice all the time. I'm not saying make mistakes constantly because you can and it's just perfect imperfection. What I'm saying is things are going to happen. And that's the world we live in, but I had to balance personal relationships ending, new growth beginning, new expansions happening. So being able, I'm saying for a page from my book, from Lexus T, those who want to know, those who need to know, and me being transparent as I can, be as who I am. It was a whole deep level going on that way. And I looked at it and I'm like, wow, you see things very clearly. Those who are in your corner, I saw very clearly. I'm like, I wasn't even directly, I still was traumatized and hurt from it, my loved one. But I saw it. I saw the people who were not there. Not the point they had to coddle me, but the point they were acting very supportive for about a week. And then after that, it was like, oh, anyway, whatever, Lex, we don't care, kind of thing. And I'm like, man, we still have more in the weeds to get rid of. I thought I was cutting off umbilical cords already. Now I'm sitting here dealing with more. But I would rather have life and the divinity of the universal powers separate those things from my life than keep them on, not knowing what they are further down. Now, sometimes we keep things in there, we entertain it because we're bored or we just need something there. We feel some kind of dependency or attachment to it. But at that point right there, I'm like, no, especially when it comes down to someone who gave me birth. In order for you to speak to me on the phone or see how I'm doing, you gotta at least, you can pretend all you want, but at least act like you care. I'm just saying. They want it all, but they don't want to give anything back. We know the story. So long story short, again, this is what it's been. So when I think it was a message, actually, I got a message from getting able to send a message over to Ralph, our wonderful and amazing producer. He's been able to have a little UK vacation time. I know you hear me, Mr. Ralph, but you know what I mean. Briscoe. Sorry, but I had to throw a shout out. I love him. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, he's like, you back to action. And when he had messaged me that, because we had the WhatsApp, from me being over in the States and him being over there and, his wonderful UK kingdom-ish things going on. I don't know if there's Netherlands or something like that. Anyway, it's beautiful. But at the same time, I was like, when he said back to action, are we back to action, Lex? I'm like, man, it made me feel sparked. I felt sparked inside. I'm like, yeah, we are. I knew I wasn't defeated or down, but for a moment, it was scary. Like, man, this is how it's going to be. Like, if something happens to this little my little, sweet pea. Like, you think things are going to happen like that, but when they just happen unexpectedly at home, on a Monday morning for trash being taken out, you're like, whoa, didn't see that sign blinder coming, ambulances and snow and can't come in because of COVID and having a freak out with doctors. It's a snowball. But anyways, other than that, the relationship that severed were in the making already. People always want 100% once again, but they always give you less than 5%. Even if it's a gesture or a text, I'm very easy. Like some people are like, oh, I don't even ask for that much. And I'm like, I hate that for the fact that you can't even say you asked for anything. Like, oh, I didn't even ask them for that much, but you're making a point. Man, from everybody else in your life, they would probably be asking for everything to be done, their car payment, everything. But I asked you for a simple text or, hey, how you doing? And it's like pulling teeth. But when you need it, I'm there times a million before you can even say it. But that's how life goes. And we just have to learn how to cut that off. So this is hashtag self-blinded. What I mean by that is, for the example of my beautiful mother, still thriving by the grace of our Creator. It's just the point, self-blinded. Now, I've been telling her for years, Mom, stop going outside in the morning and taking that stuff out. Leave it alone. Oh, I'm okay, Lex. Leave me alone. I got it. I'm your mother. You're not mine. And I'm not saying, oops, you should listen to me. That's not that scenario. The point is hashtag self-blinded. Now, although it was a horrific time and we're still recovering from it, it's just the point that she decided to be self-blinded. Even though she knew it was probably not the moment to do it, her mind was on Bible study and getting back in. It's just a typical Monday morning. She does it. She was self-blinded by the self, knowing that she didn't need to do those things, knowing that she had plenty of warnings and different stuff like that. Take heed. Even though it was innocent enough, it was still her blinding herself to the realities of what could happen. Now she's open to the realities of what has happened. Thankfully, she can actually realize that because it could have been 10 times worse than anybody ever expected. Crazily enough, unfortunately enough, the people that were in our life when that stuff had went on, there was over, I think 3 or 4 people that we got phone calls from that their people like 20s, 30s, and 40s had a fall, even in the bathroom, and they were found dead from just hitting their head. So she was the one that survived out of the statistics that they say. Wow. I mean, that was pretty drastic. You never know how many people can actually pass away from stuff like that, like on a deeper scale. So when I look at all that, I'm hashtag self-blinded, right? Where are you at presently in your life where you're hashtag self-blinded? Now, it might be to the point where I'm like, oh, I got all this extra COVID weight on me. I got these things going on. People, oh, you're still beautiful. Yeah, I know I'm gorgeous. I know I'm delicious. Let's be clear here. That's not pompously. That's not just arrogantly. That's just who I am. We all have a deliciousness factor about us. That's just what it is. I mean, I'm on point like 99.8% of the time, but lately it's been 97%. I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm okay. I'll never get the full 100. I'm fine. But my spirit will. I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, though, we can self-blind ourselves to a lot of things. Just the same thing. When my friend says, hey, I should have known, this person was going to cheat on me. I know the signs were there, but I decided to ignore them. Hashtag self-blinded. We're going to go through a whole analogy series. I should have known that driving that way, I had a gut feeling not to go down that route. I'm glad I did because I learned a lesson or I saw things that happened, but I felt it and I went anyway. Hashtag self-blinding, blinded. I knew that this person, from my page directly, okay, these are other conversations I've been had, but with my page, I know, and I knew these people who are nothing but the blood suckers or life suckers of life. We all have them. Mosquitoes exist in human form. I knew they were nothing but gravitating towards me. No, us. No, I and team, but still worry about I. But I still let them in. Hashtag, I was self-blinded. So at the end of the day, no matter how you cut it or chop it, sometimes those things of being hashtag self-blinded can really cut you up. It can really set you back. And sometimes you won't have a chance to recorrect them. So let me just put a page from all of our books out here. And let's be clear. Stop being hashtag self-blinded. Think about this. What is it serving us? Okay, what is it serving you? And I speak us collaboratively as a whole. But what is it serving us? I mean, maybe we're trying to get out of a depression, a funk. And if it's going to be used for sexual transmutation, as Napoleon Hill said in his book, Think and Grow Rich, I think someone else changed it to Think and Feel Rich, whatever it is. But anyways, the original version, he was saying a chapter about sexual transmutation, use that energy or that muse, that inspiration. Like people have made huge successes because of that inspiring person or essence in their life. Now it's different from that. If you're like, I know it's not headed anywhere, or I know this thing is benign, but it's getting me to where I need to go closer, that's fine, as long as it's not hurting you or anyone in the process. But when you're purposely doing something, when you're ignoring the intuition, your gut feeling, some people say, oh, Alex, well, how do I know it was gut instinct? Or how do I know this intuition? Well, you know when you know. It's the same thing as when you go into somewhere, if you see an outfit or you see something sitting there, it's not your favorite color, you're not going to wear it. Right? If you see a sign that says caution on the wall, you're not going to say, well, it says caution, but I'm going to keep walking down the hall. Yeah, curiosity killed the cat, and sometimes satisfaction did bring it back. But you don't want to be that chance to where it didn't come back for the satisfaction. So I'm going to just tell you like that. You can wrap it, you can roll it any way you want. But remember to understand that the writing is always on the wall before us. And I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to have, if the creator allows me to have breath in me, I'm probably going to have another, hopefully not 500 of these episodes coming to where I'm like, oh, dang it, I should have known. And it's different if you chose Rocky Road ice cream over cotton candy. We get it, okay? Simple little things like that we can ignore to a certain point. But when it comes down to the big things, where it comes to severe concussion, sorry, Mom, I'm just saying, when it comes down to infidelity, and one of my friends had actually contacted, I think it was HIV from her partner because of that caution she didn't take with the wind, even though she knew something was going on. Now, some people could say they ignore it, they shut it down. I'm not saying it's her fault by any means, but it's just different things that give us the innate gifts and the intuition that we have for the Creator speaking through us with the Spirit all the time. It's always moving. It's always I'm going to say hashtag the Nirvana. Now, if you have checked out the website, there is the Nirvana Duality masterclasses that people can exclusively sign up with, but that's a whole nother level. That's literally us taking you physically and mentally, emotionally, and spiritually on a whole nother scale to where you probably will feel like you're walking on Mars and Jupiter and Uranus and Venus and Pluto on a whole high level of this is what it is. But it is to that point, that chapter of where you can go. I will implore all of us, not to be hashtag self-blinded when it comes down to the things that don't suit our purpose. If it's not fulfilling our purpose, then we can't suit it. And if we can't discover the purpose in which is in us, we need to stop and pause and smell the roses, come back to reality, snatch it back, and figure out what it is. It's more than just a passion or a hobby. It's the point of the pursuit of that. I believe the pursuit of all of our purposes is elevating one in each and one of us. We're a spark, we're a chain reaction to what is supposed to be going on out there. And the days you wake up not serving your purpose, whether you enjoy a job but you still feel like there's something missing, there is something missing, whether it be you being the greatest dad or mom in the world, best friend or not, mentor, whatever. It's a whole huge genre of things. So when I say be the change, feel the passion, and embrace the power of the Spirit, when you hear that most of the endings of RDC conversations for this 200 some odd plus episode, that's exactly what I mean. Be the change in yourself. Be connected to what's calling out there within you. You know the difference between the negative and the positive, the yin and the yang. You know it. Just that vibe you get when you know you met your best friend or significant other, or you found that beautiful little, pet child, in the whatever it's called, the Angela's like pet child. Well, yeah, the pet child. You adopt it. Some people say they feel like their cats and their dogs or their birds or their animals, even their gators or whatever, are their babies, their pet babies. You feel that instant connection. You feel that connectivity. You feel that safety. Even if you could read it the wrong way, you still feel that feeling. And when you feel the wrong person comes in, or whoever said they had the wrong vibe, there's always some inside edition story about it later on, unfortunately. From what's going on in the world right now, where there seems to be random people murdering each other, just tirades going on of just absolute heinous hate and stupidity and unfortunately hurt that comes from there. We need to be hashtag understanding of what's going on all around us, and not definitely to be hashtag self-blinded. these times right now, we cannot dedicate ourselves to being hashtag self-blinded. We need to have our eyes open more so than ever, our ears open and our hearts permeating to what's going on. And I remember there's this quote, I got to share it with you. It's hashtag Jay Shetty. I was seeing that, sometimes Angela will send some stuff over from Instagram. We're not really big social media platform people. If you notice that, we're more direct, website, reach out, emails, and we appreciate all you who do. But when it comes to social media, we're going to get there, but we're just not for that extra clout. We're just trying to get the seeds of the message out, and that's our journey, and we'll get there. It's just a lot of stuff that we're trying to navigate in the proper ways. But it was saying, you can be the whole package delivered to the wrong address, something like that. Don't quote me on exactly the exact words of the beginning and ending, but that was the middle, baby. Hashtag yes, facts. You are the whole package delivered at the wrong address. When those out there who cannot respect your essence in their life, you are the whole package delivered to the wrong address. When you have those out there who don't appreciate your presence, or that job that doesn't suit you or respect you, or those situations that are beneath you, but that you need to push through in order to get there. That car that won't work with the other great one that's waiting in the parking lot somewhere. Right? For you to go grab it when the opportunity presents itself, when you are preparing yourself from being hashtag self-blinded. Those things, that situation that's ready to turn around and be your elevation. All those things out there that are waiting are for you to step out of the hashtag self-blinded. Sometimes we sit there and we eat ourselves to a coma of blankness in our mind. We talk ourselves out of, we need anything changing. This is the way life is. Why should I try? We get all these things up. We cloud our heads so much we don't think, and we just move with the flow of just go instead of thinking about letting it sow. We need to sow the seeds of just basically intuition, the feeling of being able to be there. So let me just leave you with that. I just want to put that out there. Hashtag self-blinded. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot more conversations about this, but I want to let you guys know a snippet of what's going on. I'll talk about the other stuff going on with the other snippets as well, and hopefully we get a chance to have some more wonderful insights and feedback back from you from our new panel of wonderful guest experts coming, and as well as our proposed wonderful guest co-hosts. Different things coming up, that's for sure going to happen by the grace of the creator. But I just want to put that out there. Hashtag self-blinded, don't be. And if you still are, find out why you choose to be and elevate yourself to understand the wisdom and the knowledge to know the difference of stop being somewhere that doesn't suit you and your purpose. Remember that. In order to get out of misery, you must first realize you are within it because of what you choose, the permissions you give it. And that's what it is. We're all going to have those hiccups, those bumps, those downfalls, but man, don't stay there. Life is way too unpredictable to stay there. And no matter how unpredictable and awesome it is, nobody gave us a guarantee stamped on our booties when we were born saying we're going to be living to 100 plus years. So when people go insane now, like, oh, there's nothing to live for, I don't care what it is. There's always a reason. And if there's something you're embarrassed about, remember, it only lasts for a season. Make the best out of it. I mean, everybody else does. Let me know. We'll talk about it. We'll put something out there and flip it around. I'm here with you. Okay. Just to get advice and get that mindset. We don't even cha-ching. No, that's knowledge and jewels given to you because this is what we do. We're not the type of people to be in your ear just soliciting 24/7. We're there to serve our purpose. And then after a moment, you can say, okay, well, let's take another step forward. But we're always here for you no matter what. So until then, be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of that wonderful spirit. This is your host, Lex, always coming to you straight from the heart where the talk is real. You can check me out and all of us and what we do and some of the information at realdoubledosechannel.com. And that's realdoubledosechannel.com. I had to say that one more time. I just love the .com part. And Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com. That's yandex.com for the emails. And we also have Spirit and Mind Elevation at reborn.com. That is the email that you can find on the site as well of spiritandmindelevation.com to check out some wonderful stuff. But you can still get a hold of us at RDC just the same. Our team is growing and it's nice to have our families grow. But check out the manifesto that's there and the wonderful ones, U 2.0, the Call My, different ones that are going to be rolling out, audios, all kinds of stuff, and our live masterclasses that come, or just a direct phone call on where we could take you and beyond. So until then, you're amazing, you're wonderful, you're awesome. Check us out on all the platforms and all our previous episodes. We love you, you're blessed, and we'll be back with you very, very, very soon.